Hey everyone. So it's been about 2 weeks since my first video about kind of my introduction and my story of me facing depression and anxiety over the last year of my life. And I kind of didn't know where to go from there, and got a lot of great feedback from a lot of people on Instagram and Twitter saying that they really appreciated me being so strong and sharing my story. And that everyone, or that a lot of them, were going through the same things that I was going through, and it helped me sharing my story to know that they're not alone. So I thought, why not keep rolling with this and kind of see where it takes me. I've always had a goal and a mission to help people some way in life, and I think that me going through this and being so open and raw with my story is helping me cope with it better, and hopefully helping others cope with their depression, anxiety, bipolarness, whatever mental health condition that may be. Hopefully it's helping them cope better with it. Dogs are running around the house right now, so apologize for any little footsteps you might hear or barking. So I thought, what better way to move forward than to share the raw truth of how bad my depression was for a while. This is hard for me. A lot of the things I'm gonna say are really hard for me to admit and say publicly, but yeah, so I'm just gonna roll with it. So a couple months ago, when I was when he had just left for season, that was when my depression and anxiety had kicked back in at an all-time low. It was at its all-time worst point. And so I wrote a letter kind of to myself and to him and all my loved ones in my life, kind of just explaining how I really truly felt in here and what my body had been going through over the last few months to a year. So I wanted to share that with you guys, and then kind of maybe dissect it a little, and here goes. So I called it my wish for myself. I wish that every day I woke up, it wasn't a constant battle with my brain. I wish that I could look myself in the mirror as I get ready to face another day in my nightmare. But I'm too disgusted with the person in the mirror. I wish that I could convince myself that everything is okay and there will be a light at the end of the tunnel when things start to get better. I wish that when my brain tells me you are a burden, that I could tell myself I'm not. I wish that when I think all I have left to do is leave this world, that I could tell myself I'm worth another day, but deep down it all feels like a lie. I have a constant sick feeling in my stomach, my chest, and shooting pain from my head down to my toes every day. I think to myself, I wish I actually had a dying illness, because then maybe I would have something to actually complain about. I wish that I could wake up and not have to put on a fake smile just to convince everyone else I'm okay. I've gained 10 pounds, all because of this mental illness. I hate myself for it even more. Hate myself, question mark? People ask, how could I hate myself? I can tell you how. I have everything that everyone could ever ask for, and I still cannot find a way to just be happy. I have an amazing house, 2 loving pups, a supportive family, friends that have been by my side for years, a strong, supportive, funny, handsome fiance who has given everything to make sure that I'm happy. And still I cannot find happiness. Imagine the feeling of constantly running as you were being chased by some sort of evil, dark demon or a serial killer. You feel fear. You feel scared, trying to run just to survive another day. That is how I feel every single day. The sickness is about to take me and I feel there is nothing I can do anymore. My wish for myself is to get better, to marry the man I have loved since I was 14, raise 3 beautiful babies together, give our parents amazing grandchildren, watch Finley and Ray grow old together, and watch Rob conquer all his dreams with me by his side. Start a foundation, help sick little babies around the world, travel, and most of all, I wish this depression and anxiety would go away. It has said to me it is here to stay. I think I'm about to snap. I wish that wasn't the truth. I wish this was a bad dream that I could wake up from, but I can't. My dad once told me my heart isn't just mine, it belongs to him, my mom, my siblings, my nephew, and most importantly, it belongs to Rob. But somehow it seems it is the only thing I have control over. My heart, my breathing, and my existence. That was a note I wrote a couple months ago. It's really hard reading that, seeing where I was and kind of where I'm at now. But yeah, that is how I felt. I felt like a burden. I felt like I was living in a constant nightmare. I literally was having body pains every day in my ankles and my calves and my stomach, my head. I would have like shooting pains just randomly on my face and unexplainable. Advil would do nothing. I was not eating properly, did not have the energy to work out because I wasn't sleeping properly. I know it's pretty awful to say that I actually wish I had a dying illness, but that's how I felt. I felt like depression and anxiety at the time was nothing compared to somebody dying of terminal cancer or something like that. But now I know that it's a sickness that needs to be dealt with. It needs to be said. It needs to be talked about more. But since I wrote this letter and since I posted my first video, I've kind of learned to cope better with and be aware of my emotions and what's going on. I still have bad days, but what I can say that I'm most proud of is they're not that frequent. As they used to be. They used to be every day, 4 days of the week. Now it's kind of like once a week I have a bad day. Oh boy, today was rough. I mean, I called Rob having an anxiety attack. Everything that could have gone wrong after a 3-day weekend back to work went wrong. Woke up late, couldn't sleep last night because I had anxiety. Literally got in bed at like 9:30 and didn't actually like heavily fall asleep till 2:30 in the morning. I mean, I was in and out of sleep from 9:45 till about 2:30 in the morning. And so I had set my alarm for 5:30 to get up and I missed it because I wanted to go work out. My new goal is to try to work out in the morning with my trainer, Tevin, and then at night go boxing after work. And I was so angry at myself that that was the first thing I woke up to. Then I just felt like hideous and no outfit was working. It was just one of those days. My garage wouldn't open, so my car was literally stuck in my garage for like 30 minutes. I sat there trying to open my garage, and so which made me late to work. So I just felt like my whole day was like dysfunctional from the moment I woke up, and then like getting to work late. I just felt like it totally like just messed up my day. So I lost it this morning at about 9:45 in the morning, but I was able to calm myself down. My new phrase that I tell myself when I am going through an anxiety attack is that it's a bad day, not a bad life. And I can't remember who told me that, but I remember hearing it somewhere, and it helps me a lot. It helps me remind myself that you're gonna have rough days, but that doesn't mean you're having a bad life or you've had a bad life leading up to where you're at now. So that is my motto I'm going with right now. I'm also able to catch my emotions before they get to that point. I'm kind of able to vocalize and vent before I get to that point, which is honestly been the best thing for my relationship with Rob, my relationship with my family and my friends. I am talking to my friends more, and it feels really good, because before I was just not talking to anybody, and distancing myself, like I said in my previous video. I haven't felt that low, like in that letter, I haven't felt that low in a while. Probably since I wrote that letter, I haven't felt that depressed. And it feels pretty good. But yeah, I wanted to share that note, and dig further and deeper into what I was really going through and what I was feeling for a long time. My Instagram is always up for questions, so is my Twitter, or if you have me on Facebook, or if you just want to vent, I'm another ear. It literally warmed my heart and brought me to tears to get so many messages from people telling me their personal stories, and it made me feel like I was doing something good for the first time in a long time. So that note was not in any way to offend anybody, nor is this video. This is just me telling my story, like I said in the first video, and in hopes of helping somebody out there, because I don't want to look in the news and see somebody else committing suicide or attempting suicide, because you may not know it now, and I have to remind myself, Rob has to remind me, my parents have to remind me, but I may not know it now, you may not know it now, but there is a purpose in your life. You have a story to be told. Don't give up on yourself. Write everything that you're feeling, because that has helped me. Talk about it. Like, don't just say it to yourself in your head, say it out loud. That has really like took a bunch off my shoulders, is saying it out loud, that I'm dealing with this, I'm coping with this. It doesn't define who I am, but it sure as heck has made me into the person I am and the person that I'm becoming. So that is my advice. That is my video this week. If you want more, or if you want me to do a video on questions that I could answer from my experience, just, like I said, message me. I hope that each of you are having an amazing day and that you have an amazing week. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. Yeah.